Hello, boys and girls. It's story time with Joe. I think it's story time. I think it's story time. I think it's right on time. It's time for story time with Joe. Enjoy.
Hi, Kingdom Kids. It's story time with Miss Joe, and I'm so excited to read the Bible to you guys. Today, we're going to go over Genesis 1 through 3. Make sure you're paying attention. Are you ready to go? Let's go. All right. So, this is the Old Testament. Genesis 1. In the beginning, the world was empty. Darkness was everywhere. But God had a plan. God separated the light from the darkness. Let there be light, he said. And the light turned on. And he called the light day. And he called darkness night. That was the end of the very first day. Then God said, I will divide the waters. He separated the waters in the clouds, above the waters in the ocean below. He called the space between them sky. This was the end of the second day. Next, God rolled back the waters, and some dry ground appeared. He made plants of many shapes and colors. He made mountains and hills and valleys. This was the end of the third day. God put a shiny sun in the sky for daytime. He put a glowing moon and twinkling stars in the sky for nighttime. This was the end of the fourth day. On the fifth day, God made squishy fish and squiggly creatures to live in the ocean. Then God made birds to fly across the sky. On the sixth day, God made animals to creep, crawl, hop, and gallop. Then from the dust, God made the most wonderful creature of all, a person. God named him Adam. On the seventh day, God rested. All right, Kingdom Kids, I want you to discuss this with your parents. What did God make on the third day? Are you ready for Genesis chapter 2? Let's go. Adam and Eve, Genesis 2. God had planted a beautiful garden for Adam in a place called Eden. A river flowed through the garden. Adam loved his new home. His job was to name all the animals and care for the garden. Adam loved all the animals, but he could not find a friend that was just right for him. So God created a woman. Adam named her Eve. She was just right for Adam. Adam and Eve loved each other. Together, they took care of God's garden. All right, Kingdom Kids, that's chapter 2, Genesis chapter 2. My question for you to discuss is, what is the name of the woman that God created? All right, Genesis chapter 3. The sneaky snake. Many trees grew in the Garden of Eden. God told Adam and Eve, you may eat from the fruit from any tree except for one. Never eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now, there was a sneaky snake in the garden. One day, the snake saw Eve near the special tree. It hissed, did God really tell you not to eat the fruit from this tree? The snake wanted Eve to disobey God. It said, you should try some of this tasty fruit. If you eat it, you will be like God. You will be able to tell the difference between good and evil. The fruit looked tasty. Eve remembered what God had said, but she ate the fruit anyway. Then Eve gave some to Adam. He took a bite too. As the sun was going down, Adam and Eve heard God walking through the garden. He was looking for them. Adam and Eve hid among the trees. They were afraid. "What have you done?" God asked. "Did you eat the fruit from the forbidden tree?" Adam said, "Yes, but Eve gave it to me." Eve said, "Yes, but the snake tricked me." God told the snake, "Because of what you did, you will always crawl on your belly." Then he told Adam and Eve, "Because you disobeyed me, you can no longer live in the garden." Adam and Eve left the garden. God placed angels and a flaming sword to guard the entrance. Adam and Eve would not be allowed in the garden again. The end. All right, guys, I want you guys to answer this question. What is the tree that God did not want them to eat from? All right? Thank you for joining us for Story Time with Miss Jo. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye. Good morning, Kingdom Kids. I'm Miss Jo.
I'm Mr. Kirk.
Chloe. And we are the Coleman family. Fools give vent to their rage, but the wise bring calm in the end. Proverbs 29:11. My message today is, I'm about to explode. We're going to talk about being angry. How many people do you know are angry all the time? Every time you're around them, they're angry. They are always throwing tantrums. They're rolling on the floor. Something is always making them mad. Today we're going to talk about how God can become a part of us so we don't have to be angry all the time. How can we all admit that sometimes we're angry? We're frustrated. We get irritated. We all get frustrated and irritated, but if you stay there, that becomes the problem, right? We don't want to have friends that are angry all the time. We don't want to be in the same house with people who are angry all the time, right? We want to make sure that whatever we do, we show the love of Jesus Christ. The Bible tells us to be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. We want to be slow to anger. We want to make sure that when I talk to Chloe, that Chloe can see Jesus Christ in me. If I'm angry all the time, that's the opposite of love, right? So we want to make sure that we are showing Jesus Christ every single where we go. And if we do become angry, we take the time to walk away, say walk away, go by ourselves, pray to God and ask him to help us deal with the situation that we have at the time, right? Have we ever had situations where you had to walk away? Have you had to walk away before, Mr. Kirk?
Sure.
And how did it feel when you walked away and asked God to help you?
Well, it gave me a chance to kind of calm down and think about the situation and realize I didn't really have to be as mad as I was.
Right. What about you, Kai?
Maybe the same thing because, I can just think about what I did instead of just blowing up on people.
Right. We blow up for different reasons, right, Chloe? Do you ever become angry?
Yes.
We all become angry. I know I've become angry sometimes as a person, as a mom, as a teacher, as a leader. Sometimes we become angry, but we don't want to sin when we become angry, right? We want to go ask God to help us in those areas where we are just struggling in. Now, people can become angry for a lot of different reasons. Maybe they're angry because it's a situation that is way too big for them to handle, but it's never okay. Say never okay.
Never okay.
It's never okay for you to be angry and to take it out on someone else. We want to make sure that you have that personal relationship with Jesus Christ so that he can calm you down. Say calm you down. Now, we want to talk about the fruits of the Spirit. Does anybody know the fruits of the Spirit? You know? Chloe, do you know any of the fruits?
He wants us to love.
He wants us to love each other because God is love. What else?
He wants us to have peace.
Peace. Peace that surpasses all understanding, right? Do you know any more?
No.
You don't know any more. Okay, anybody else? Do you know any more? Kai, what do you think?
God wants us to be gentle.
He wants us to be gentle. Just like if I was handling a baby, I would not be rough with that baby, right? I wouldn't throw the baby around like that. God wants us to be gentle with each other. So if somebody does something to me, my meekness will show the love of Jesus Christ. Do you have any more?
Being patient.
Patient. Now, that's something everyone has to work on, because sometimes we want things to go our way, and if we're not patient, we roll on the floor, we get mad, we start crying, right? We get mad at our parents, we get mad at our friends, we get mad at our teachers, and God does not want that. Anybody else?
Kindness and goodness.
Kindness and goodness.
And I think last but not least, self-control.
Self-control. We all need self-control, faithfulness, all of those things. We want to make sure we have the fruits of the Spirit. Say the fruits, of the Spirit.
Of the Spirit.
Anger is not one of those.
Anger is not one of those.
All right, so it's okay to tell people that, hey, I need a moment, I need to go by myself. If something is really bothering you, you don't want to be around people who are angry, because anger gets us in so much trouble. Say so much trouble.
So much trouble.
All right, I hope you guys understand the way that God wants us to be, the way that God wants us to love. All right, it's demonstration time. Switch it up. I said switch it up.
Hey guys, we have 2 bottles in front of us. One is water and one is soda. Which one do you want to be?
The insides represent your emotions, your feelings, and how you react to the things.
We have Mentos, and this represents the world, how they might treat you. They might treat you by hurting your feelings.
They might annoy you.
They might talk behind your back.
They may be a fake friend.
They might make fun of you.
They might not accept you.
So we're gonna put the world in front of us and see how we react.
All right, need a little help?
Thank you.
How will you react? We're going to put the world inside of you. Will you be water or will you be soda?
Kai, which one are you?
I think I'm a little bit above. Which one are you?
I think I'm saying.
You think you're the same?
Yes.
You are water and soda.
Yes.
All right, so on the count of 3, we are going to see which one has a reaction. Will you be water or will you be soda? Are you guys ready? Yeah. All right, 1, 2, 3. Woo! Okay, let's see what we have here. As you can see, when we put the Mentos in the water, it stayed what? Calm. It was so calm. Because when the world dumps things on us, we want to make sure we don't have a reaction. Now, granted, sometimes you will get irritated or frustrated, but they shouldn't see it. That's the time when you go to God and you pray. So don't have a reaction. Now, as you look at the soda, it did what?
Exploded.
It exploded. Are you someone that always explode? Every little thing gets on your nerve. Every time you come in the house, someone makes you angry. You don't want to explode. We want to be more like water. We want to be more like God, all right? So anger has to leave. Say, leave anger.
Leave anger.
We want the peace of God. We want the peace of God, guys. So make sure that you are water and not soda. All right, before we leave, Kai and Chloe have a very silly chant that they want to teach you guys. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Get that anger out of here. Get that anger out of here.
All right.
Get that anger out of here.
They want the anger to get out of here. When you go home and someone is angry, say, get that anger out of here. We will see you next time, Kingdom Kids. Bye.